The most efficient way to multiply mixed numbers is to take your mixed numbers and convert them into improper fractions. So in this case, I have 4 and 1/5 times 3 and 3/4. The 4 and 1/5 and 3 and 3/4, I can't multiply them as they are. So what I'm going to do is convert each mixed number individually into improper fractions. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 1 is 21. So I have 21/5 for 4 and 1/5. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 3 is 15. So 3 and 3/4 is also equivalent to 15/4. Now I can multiply this instead of my mixed numbers above. I have improper fractions which I can multiply. Now, how do you multiply fractions? You just numerator times the numerator and denominator times the denominator. Now, if I were to actually do this, this might be a little bit daunting for some of you. If I were to do this, I would get actually 315 over 20, because 21 times 15 is 315, and 5 times 4 is 20. Then I would have to reduce this fraction, and I'm just going to let you know, I don't want to do that. No, I'm not going to do that at all. Instead, I'm going to use a different method of multiplying these, a trick to make it easier. This would work if you really want to do it, but an easier way is to do something I call cross-canceling, or cross-reducing. In this case, I'm going to look at 21 and 4, the numbers across and diagonal from each other. Is there any number that divides evenly into 21 and 4? No. Let's try the other way. Is there any number that divides evenly into 5 and 15? Yes, 5 does. So 5 divided by 5 equals 1, and 15 divided by 5 equals 3. So I'm going to use these numbers instead when I multiply. 21 times 3, that gives me 63, and 1 times 4 is 4. This is a much easier fraction to work with than this one. So I'm now going to just reduce that. What I do is I divide 4 into 63, see how many times it goes whole. If that's difficult for you, you always have your good old division bracket to figure that out. 4 goes into 66 one time, so that gives me a remainder of 2. Drop down to 3. 4 goes into 23 5 times. 5 times 4 is 20, with a remainder 3. That means, since 4 goes into 63 15 times, that means I have 15 wholes, and 3, wrote an equal sign, fourths. So 15 and 3/4. That means that 4 and 1/5 times 3 and 3/4 is 15 and 3/4. Now, I normally would end the video here, but you should take note that this is the correct answer. A common mistake people make is to think, oh, I can just multiply my whole numbers, 4 times 3 is 12, and my fractions separately. 1 times 3 is 3, and 5 times 4 is 20. This is what you would get if you were to do 4 times 3 is 12, and then 1 times 3 is 3, and 4 times 4 is 20, and just think that's your answer. That is different from this answer, and that means this is completely wrong. Do not do that. Please convert to improper fractions in order to find the correct answer when multiplying mixed numbers.